This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Drive, Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We get this question, Jamie. You might address this. Why in the world do pitchers not wear helmets? Batters do, and the ball is coming in further away and slower. When the pitcher lands, he's only about 50 feet away, and the exit velocity off the bat can be around 110 miles per hour in some cases. Even the base coaches have to wear helmets. It makes no sense to me.
It's a really good point. I guess because they think it would be too difficult to pitch with a helmet on, I guess is the answer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in my mind is that they feel like it's too bulky, it's too heavy, it's, you know.
But it's a fair comment. Everything that they said is accurate.
Mm-hmm. But then, I mean, and you see more and more, you know, kind of get hit like that when it goes right back up the middle. And you see the pitchers in softball wearing helmets.
Yes, sometimes face mask versions or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they're even a little bit closer than what the baseball guys are when it's all said and done after they land. This observation, I think Texas Tech softball is treating the softball world like a cat playing with a mouse before they finally kill it.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm okay. I mean, I'll buy what you're selling there. I don't know if Jerry Glasgow would buy what you're selling there, but I think they kind of feel like they still have, you know, work to do and things like that. But you know, are they better today than they were a year ago?
The softball team?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I mean, at this point a year ago, we weren't like expecting them to just make it to the College World Series, which is a feat in and of itself, let alone.
No, I'm pretty sure we were expecting them to make it to the College World Series last year.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from the beginning of the season.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
Okay.
Like as soon as they signed Nigeri, really the first time.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, but we have maybe higher expectations this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Winning it.
Right. No. Finishing the task, finishing the job, standing on the hill at the end, you know.
Yes.
Waving pennants, waving hats.
Dropping red and black confetti.
Yes, right. All those things, you know, which would be awesome, be outstanding. So hopefully that becomes the case. 6:34 this morning here on the morning drive. I saw this, and we have not talked about this, but it's becoming more and more, I don't know, distraction, I guess. This is the whole Mike Vrabel mess with Diana Rossini. Jamie, now he says, he announced yesterday, he's going to step away from the team and seek counseling starting this weekend. This all is in response to photographs that were published in New York in the Post with him and Rossini, who was then a reporter for The Athletic, seen together in a pool and seen together, you know, at breakfast. And both of them said they were with other friends, but there's been no other documentation of that, a proof of that. And now Vrabel and Rossini has since resigned from The Athletic as a reporter. And it's very uncomfortable story.
So don't read it.
Well, the reason I bring it up is just...
This is the first I've heard of it.
Really?
Really?
I mean, it's been on... Okay. I mean, I'm a little surprised by that.
Okay, that's fine. It's his personal life. If I saw a headline that said Mike Vrabel seen in a pool with a reporter, I would have no interest in it.
It's been pretty widely discussed on other shows, on like national shows on Dan Patrick and other shows. The reason I bring it up is it's become a distraction because he's been very vague. And what I'm beginning to wonder is, at some point in time, does he have to admit the whole full thing, and does it eventually cost him his job? Because he's not been very forthcoming. He's been very, very vague.
Okay, so I'm telling you, this is the first I'm hearing of it. So Is he married?
Yes.
Okay, so
and she is too.
Okay, so they've both been unfaithful.
We don't know that for a fact.
Okay.
That's the assumption.
Unless, first off, even if I'm the New England Patriots, I mean, yes, I'm going to have a conversation with him about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But beyond the New England Patriots or the Athletic with her, which there's the interests of, hey, you're supposed to be reporting on blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That's a bad look. I could see maybe she deserves to be asked to leave her job. I'm not saying it's okay, because I 100% don't agree with it, but I don't know that Mike Vrabel should lose his job as the Patriots head coach because he had an affair. How many people in this country would be out of jobs?
Oh, no question. I think the question is that, he's made these comments in front of his team about, being accountable and
that's between him and his team.
All that, I get all that, but I mean, would he have just been better off saying, okay, I made a mistake?
Okay, hang on. Time out. To answer your question, yes, immediately, because as a country, we like forgiving people.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
but
sure.
but you got to ask for forgiveness first. We're not just going to give it to you,
right?
Right. And the longer it takes you to admit that you were wrong, the longer it's going to take for us to accept your apology. So yes, to answer your question, he should have come out and said, you know what, I am dealing with internal struggles of family nature and relationship nature, and
which should be number one to him.
Yeah, and I am having to deal with this, but to everyone, I apologize for my actions. And it ended there, but that's not what we got. We always get the cover and what cover up, and what we hear more often than not.
And why are we getting a cover up here? Because he's trying to save his marriage.
Because he's famous and rich, she's famous and she's rich, and neither one of them want to lose money.
He's trying to save his marriage. It's not like, I should have punted on 4th down and not gone for it. This is, I should have not cheated on my wife. Those are things that you don't go to the public with.
Except they got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and
they got caught
who love
near a cookie
TMZ
jar.
are obsessed with stories like this. It's his personal life. I don't care about it.
It's not just TMZ. It's ESPN
around a cookie jar.
Yeah.
They aren't in the cookie jar yet.
Yeah, it's not just TMZ.
And by the way,
ESPN.
She
everywhere.
has stepped down from her position at the Atlantic already.
Yeah, it was she. I mean, again, because conflict of interest, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it's just she's been kind of left hanging to dry.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is Thursday, April the 23rd, 2026. Here is Jeff McGuire with the State Sports History.
Going to start in 1919 with something that will never happen again.
Okay.
And I say this because of money. U.S. Major League Baseball opens a reduced 140-game season.
Oh, I agree with you on that. I don't think the NBA guys are ever going to go back from 81 either.
No one's getting rid of games in their professional sports.
No, I don't think so. Just the opportunity to sell tickets and concessions and all that kind of stuff. What was the NBA season before it went to?
I've always known it as 81.
81 or 82?
82, maybe it's 82. So it's 41. 82.
Yeah, because the Bulls were 72 and 10.
Yeah, so but it's 41 at home and away. So I mean, I'm sure at some point in time it was in the 60s, but I don't remember that.
1950, NBA championship took place. The Minneapolis Lakers beat the Syracuse Nationals 110-95 to take the series 4-2. Was that a team that was talked about when you were growing up, Jamie, the Nationals?
No, they were done.
They were gone way before then, but was it ever a... Boy, remember we used to go to Syracuse Nationals games?
No.
Nothing?
No. Everybody just loved the Orangemen.
1964. Houston Colt 45's Ken Johnson becomes the first Major League pitcher to lose a 9-inning no-hitter. Reds win 1-0.
That's really unfortunate.
1971. Ruben Garcia retires 19 straight batters and goes 8 innings to earn Texas Tech's 4th no-hitter in a 1-0 win over Baylor. 1989. NFL Draft. The number 1 pick.
1989.
Dallas Cowboys select
Russell, Maryland.
quarterback Troy Aikman.
That was way later. When was Maryland? How many years later? About 4, 3?
I can tell you, I have that pulled up here. Russell, Maryland. He was picked in 1990, so the next year.
Next year, okay.
Yeah, he and Emmett were, or 91. 91. I'm sorry, 91.
They were in the same year.
No, Emmett was 90 and Russell Maryland was 91 with Alvin Harper and Kevin Pritchard.
Amazing draft that was.
2008. Chris Richburg has 3 runs and 3 RBI, and seals a cycle with a home run in the 7th as Texas Tech beats New Mexico State 16-10.
That's a 90s college baseball score right there, 16-10. It's also a 2026 Big 12 baseball score also.
It is National Cherry Cheesecake Day.
Okay, I can get behind that.
I'll let you have mine.
Okay, thank you.
Very kind of me, huh? I'm so giving.
You're very kind, yeah.
Or I just don't like cheesecake.
No, I know that.
Yeah. I do like cherry flavor, though.
I'm not completely stupid. I mean, I'm got my moments.
That was okay.
I'm not completely stupid. I've got my moments.
Nobody said you were stupid.
Nope.
Not yet.
That's not what we have accused Chuck of, ever. Chuck is a very intelligent person. Birthdays today.
That just got awkward.
Wow.
Happy birthday to John Cena. He's 49. Oh, come on, like it wasn't fun.
I'll just never understand.
George,
to each their own, right?
Yeah, to each their own. Right?
George and I, Chuck, just don't get it.
Yeah.
But others are just as hardcore about it. People that we would never guess.
Yeah, that are all in.
All in.
Yeah.
Like our good friend Chris Level.
Oh, yeah, he loves him some.
He loves him some WWF.
Yeah, and E and Z and XY.
I always say F just to annoy the WWE fans.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
George Lopez is 65, and Lee Majors is 87.
$6 Million Man.
And
don't you remember that show?
No, I do.
Okay. He just kind of looked at me like you didn't know.
Well, I thought you said $60 million man.
$6 million.
And then I replayed it in my head, which is where I did.
Do you think he gets mad when he's referred to as the $6 Million Man? Remember, all Texas Tech fans were frustrated that during the College World Series last year of softball, they kept referring to Nigel Kennedy as $1 million arm and all this kind of stuff.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
you think, but Lee Majors was okay with it?
I think he was okay with it. He probably was less fond of being Mr. Farrah Fawcett, back in the day.
Why would he be less fond of that?
There is nothing ever to be upset if you were...
I would like for somebody to call me the $1 million host.
You are the $1 million host.
No, I'm not.
You're the $1 million.
I promise you.
You're the $1 million thinker.
And on this day in 1985, somebody got a harebrained idea, guys. Hey, we're going to take our very successful product and we're going to change it. And we're going to call it new. And people are going to love it. And they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't.
What are we talking about? Coke?
New Coke introduced on this day in
Coke.
1985, changing their recipe after the first time in 99 years. The short-lived Sweeter New Coke, as it was called, debuts to consumer backlash that purists call the marketing blunder of the century.
So I was only 11, so I do not remember this at all. Okay.
Oh, okay.
We also didn't get soda a lot as a kid. Do you remember the outrage?
Yeah. I mean, I was working at a radio station, and I was relatively young, but I mean, I hated the new Coke. And really what it created more than anything, and there was a conspiracy theory about this, that the new Coke was just something that they put out to get people to drink the old Coke more, because it created this thirst and desire for the old Coke.
Mm-hmm.
And the recipe did change for classic Coke compared to new Coke, compared to the original Coke.
And then they had the classic Coke that came out, right?
Mm. And sometimes it feels like they do different things just to make you interested and say, well, I'll give that a try.
Well, and the Coke wars were, it was with Pepsi and all that stuff. Yeah, it was huge. Yeah.
So it got them in the headlines and all that good stuff.
And that is this day in sports history.
Yeah, as much as I love soft drinks, I wish I was, dialed in then, because I would have been interested. And I would have been interested to try the new to see if I hated it or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they had these.
Now, who was it recently that changed their logo? Wasn't it like Cracker Barrel or somebody?
Yeah.
And there was an outrage over that.
They had to change it back.
Yeah, am I misremembering that?
No.
Is that right? Okay. So, yeah.
Somebody says new Coke wasn't a marketing blunder. It was done to disguise the switch over to high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that too. Somebody wants to bring back Crystal Pepsi. Okay. Crystal Pepsi.
I would not be upset if they brought back Crystal Pepsi.
Okay. I don't remember the Crystal Pepsi.
It was just clear Pepsi. Like it was.
The clear Pepsi.
I remember it. I don't remember ever drinking it or trying it, but I remember there being a deal with it.
Yeah. So.
It being a thing.
Being a thing. Yeah. Being a thing. 6:54 this morning here on the morning drive. But yeah, it was a fiasco. It was almost immediate too. It was immediate of bring back the old Coke. It did not go well for them, and it went down the old drain, so to speak.
Literally, probably.
Literally, right.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Speaking of, the baseball this weekend and your thought of maybe using an opener for maybe the first game or whatever. The other thing, you talk about...
No, not the first game. Jackson Burns should start the first game.
On Friday?
I would imagine, yes.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
So you're thinking Saturday or Sunday for that?
Yeah. I mean, that would be my guess, but I just don't think you want to use a bunch of bullpen arms on Friday.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense because you don't know what the weekend's going to look like. But you talked about maybe not putting as much pressure on the other pitcher, on the starting pitcher or whatever, because you're going to use a guy potentially that has had a lot of success for you. But I also would think that would help your hitters as well, not to be battling from behind and having kind of the weight of the world on their shoulders, and pressing and all that kind of stuff, that it might help your offense get out to a better start as well.
Yeah, that was the point I was trying to make, is that you're not playing from behind.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because I think it feels better for offensive players if it doesn't feel like, we got to dig out of a hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have Red Raider baseball on the air for you. Again, just a reminder, tomorrow's at 1 o'clock, first pitch, 12:30 warm-up show here on Double T 97.3 and on 100.7 The Score. And then Saturday, it's 12:30 and 1, and then Sunday, 12:30 and 1 with Oklahoma State coming to town this weekend. So NFL Draft just tonight. Our coverage on the Cowboys Radio Network begins at 6 o'clock on 100.7 The Score. Really looking forward to kind of seeing where everybody lands, and how everybody's received from a Red Raider standpoint. I think it goes without saying at this point that David Bailey's going to be your first one picked, without question, and it sure looks like that where he's going to go is to the New York Jets. Now, Field Yates has done a mock draft on ESPN.com, and that's where he has David Bailey going. He has him going to the New York Jets. So he's sticking with that. He says Bailey boasts the best first step in the class, plays with aggressive hands and instincts, 14.5 sacks last year, tied for the most in FBS. Okay?
Yes, accurate.
Yeah.
All of it.
So
he played here. We've seen him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just kind of speaking of what he said. Now, with regard to the Dallas Cowboys, tell me if you've heard of this guy, Mansour Dulane, a cornerback from LSU.
I have not,
and
but I think corner is a good spot for them to go after.
And that's the thing, when you watch this, if you watch it, if you listen to it, I mean, there's going to be a lot of names that you're going to go, I didn't know that guy, but I sure know that school, because Ohio State's going to have a big number of people listed in the first round, and you're going to go, yeah, I never heard of Caleb Downs before, or I've never heard of.
I've heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to admit, that's the first time. I mean, or Caden McDonald. He's a defensive tackle.
Don't recognize him.
Yeah. The other pick that that Field Yates has the Cowboys getting in the number 20 selection, Keldrick Falk. He is an edge rusher from Auburn. Now that's a little bit different because they'd had other guys listed in that spot, and other guys listed in the 7 spot too. He now has Reuben Bain Jr., who the Cowboys had been rumored to be very, very, and who knows, they may trade up and try to get him. He's an edge rusher going to the Baltimore Ravens.
I just think there's so many on the defensive side of the ball. I'm not trying to say that the Cowboys defense was, horrendous last year or anything like that, epically bad. But I just think I think
you're allowed to say it. They were.
They have a lot of need positions on the defensive side of the ball. So I think if you're drafting 2 defensive players in the first round that are, high quality players that are top 20 guys, I think that's the route to take at this point, whether it's a defensive back, whether it's a linebacker, whether if it's a edge rusher, whatever. I just think those are all need areas, and so I think the Cowboys should go after the best player available at one of those need areas. So many times they talk about how you take the best player available. Mm-hmm. Well, as long as it's a player that's in a need area for you, right? I mean, if you got the best quarterback in the league, why and you got the number 1 pick, why would you take another quarterback?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
Yeah, but meanwhile, your defense stinks out loud. He may be rated higher than the best defensive lineman, but it makes more sense. So, I'm not saying you make a reach to take a guy that's not really that good, but because you have a need position. But if they're highly rated defensive players, I think you can't go wrong there with the Cowboys. You just hope that you've rated them correctly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so again, I would personally love to see the Cowboys take a edge rusher. I just think their ability to disrupt the game, it makes them harder to get, than good linebackers or good safeties, whatever. So I would lean in that direction, but I don't think I would want the Cowboys to take 2 of them in the first round.
I mean, you got to figure out a way to get off the field for the Cowboys, because the offense is going to be prolific.
You would think so.
I mean, it feels like the Cowboys can score at will, and now that they've re-signed their field goal kicker and gotten Brandon Aubrey hopefully happy, you kind of feel like that. I mean, if you take over your own 40, let's just say it's your own 40, you're within 15 yards of kicking a field goal. So it almost feels like, unless you just throw an interception or get sacked or have a fumble, that you're kind of assured of getting 3 points. He does not have Jacob Rodriguez in a first round pick, Field Yates. So I guess that's where the intrigue is going to be tonight. Does Jacob Rodriguez fall out of the first round, or does somebody say, okay, this is a guy that I really like and fits our needs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, my guess he's the front half of the second round.
Okay. But
I also haven't seen him universally said he's going to be a first-round pick. What I keep seeing associated with him is it wouldn't be surprising to see somebody go get him in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Like, it was surprising when Jordan Brooks was taken in the first round, and he's been a great player in the league. So maybe it'll be a situation like that where he gets in late in the first round and has a terrific career. Mm-hmm. That we can only hope, right?
Like, pick around 20 or so.
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I mean,
like at 20.
I don't see anybody rating him that high. And so if you were the Cowboys and you wanted him, feels like you could almost trade out of that 20 spot and get something extra and take him, 27, 28, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody wants to move up to 20. Like, that's the other catch. I don't know that there's just people dying to move up in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, unless... Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... That's going to be interesting. All the players. All the players.
Trying to get that high-rise apartment in the sky, huh?
Yeah. That's right. And moving on up. That's exactly right, Jeff. I'm kind of excited. I'm excited about the draft tonight. I think just the whole... And there's a lot of pomp and circumstance in the draft. A lot of intrigue.
That's good. It's like Christmas. You find out what your team... has left you under the tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
see if you can make some improvement. See if you can make some improvement. Mm-hmm. I don't know that there's a whole lot of... there's like I said, there's some intrigue, especially maybe if Rodriguez falls out of the first today, then it's going to be tomorrow in terms of the second round, and then other guys through the weekend.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
I'm going to be transparent here, Chuck.
Okay.
My question also does not bring on deep thoughts.
Okay. Well, I mean, usually your question is to inspire deep thoughts, but rarely are we giving you the deep thoughts that you
I don't want you to
seek.
dig. I don't want you to dig deep.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be work.
Okay.
All right, very simple question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've talked so much about what we want to see in the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
What do you not want to see? This can be about your favorite team. This can be about the Cowboys. This could be about the Red Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
This could be about anything. Jeff looks like Jeff is like a bird on a perch. He is waiting
anxious?
to chirp.
Okay.
I have my answer.
Okay, go right ahead.
I have a guess as to what
Go right ahead.
What do you think it is, Jamie?
I think he's going to say Jacob Rodriguez to the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
Okay.
No. None of that would ever come out of my mouth, unless I have to say it because that's what happens. No.
Again, you're picking what you don't want to see.
Right? No. It's something worse.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Because if Jacob Rodriguez is going to the Eagles, they've got a good defense. They have a chance to win. I can spin that. I don't want to see the Cowboys trade up to try to get top 5, top 3 pick. They have entirely too many holes. You've already sacrificed your cap and your future with the cap of signing free agents because of everything you've done on the offensive side of the ball. Your defense, you were talking earlier that you didn't think the Cowboys' defense, it was the worst. They were tied for second for fewest interceptions. They couldn't be tied for first because the Jets didn't have any.
Still craziest stat.
That's
ever.
6, by the way. So, not like a huge number is what they had.
Way more than the Jets.
It's way more than the Jets, but that was it. Most passing yards, most rushing yards they gave up, most 40-yard plays over 40 yards. They were terrible on defense. Let's go spend every draft pick you've got on defense. Don't give any of them away. Moving up would be nice if you were filling a hole. You are filling 11. Don't trade up. Trade down. Trade down, get more picks. Don't sacrifice more future that you don't have.
Okay.
That's what I don't want to see in the draft.
What you don't want to see in the draft. Somebody off the 820 Center chat line says, I don't want to see any Red Raiders go to the Cowboys. Their talent will be wasted.
Yeah, but they're going to get paid.
They are good.
That's the catch. Like, I love Davis Martin with the White Sox. He's not going to get paid there. I want them to trade him so he can get paid.
Yeah, unless they play offense, then the Cowboys will pay them.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that says I wish the Chiefs would do everything that they. So I really don't want to see them draft very much on defense. I think they have needs on offensive line. I could see them trying to get an edge rusher to just kind of help out with that, because I think you always need that. What don't I want to see? Yeah, I really don't have I really don't have something, but from the standpoint of I don't think they don't need a quarterback. Obviously, they don't need receivers. I really don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I think the simple answer is just for any of the Red Raiders to just have a monumental drop like we see every once in a while, like a Shedeur Sanders kind of deal where everybody gives up on a guy and he just falls 4, 5, 6 rounds later than you thought he was going to fall. I'm going to just tell you straight up. I mean, I didn't want to give this answer because I don't want to. I want whatever is obviously Jacob Rodriguez is the one I'm the most interested in. Okay, right? It just he's being a longer time Red Raider, all that good stuff. He's been such an awesome story, so I'm the most interested to see where he is going to end up going. And nothing would make me happier for him to go to a team that I either root for or a team that I'm obviously interested in, like the Cowboys. I would love to see him go to the Cowboys. That would not disappoint me one tiny bit. This city has become so full of bandwagon Chiefs fans. I would hate Jacob Rodriguez going to the Chiefs. I would hate it with the fire of 1,000 suns. I actually am. It's in my contract that if Jacob gets drafted by the Chiefs, I get tomorrow morning off. I will not be here.
Is it also in your contract that anytime the Chiefs win a Super Bowl within the next 5 years that you get that Monday off too?
No, I've been here for that.
Okay, I know you have.
I come, rain or shine, good times, bad times, Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I know.
I show up.
I know.
Yeah.
You're here, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can see where you would have that feeling. I think I would love that.
I'm sure.
I would love that. I would love to see him go there.
I just do not like bandwagon fans. They frustrate me, and I am not accusing you of being that. You know that.
Yeah.
But this city is full of so many have hopped on the bandwagon Chiefs fans. Mm-hmm. Again, and I don't think it's just because Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback. I think it's because Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback and they're winning.
Okay.
There weren't a lot of Raiders fans here when Crabtree was with the Raiders. There were a few, but not like what you've seen with Pat.
Yeah, and I mean, I root for Pat too. So, yeah. I mean, it's just, I hope his team loses.
Yeah, because if
it affects my team.
If Mahomes had gone to the Chiefs and the Chiefs were mediocre, you wouldn't be seeing what you see. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Somebody says, please don't let Bailey go to the wasteland that is the New York Jets.
But I feel like he would have a chance to immediately play a ton and have a chance to showcase his skills and all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I get that he would be on a bad team, but yeah.
I felt like that was just low hanging fruit there, because that's truly my wish. Is that, I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd rather the Chiefs trade up to get David Bailey, but I don't think that's going to happen. But you probably wouldn't like to see that either, would you?
That doesn't. I don't have the same passion for a 1 year rent a player as I do Jacob Rodriguez.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents the Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression. Committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
Morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It's great to have you with us. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Take your thoughts and comments today on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that or the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. We might have talked about this previous, but I am curious your take on this. Does it, like for your teams, and let's just say whether it's baseball or football, and a player is drafted from a said university that you either really like or don't care for, does it affect your, affinity when said player becomes a Buffalo Bill or a New York Yankee or a Philadelphia Eagle or whatever team you want to fill in the blank with?
Yes, in that I'm not rooting against them, but they're not going to end up being my favorite player.
Okay, if it's from a college that you don't care for.
Correct.
TCU or Texas or A&M.
Right. I still want them to succeed and help the team, but if I'm rooting for the player to be the lead player, the superstar of the team, or the guy that hits the winning home run or scores the winning touchdown, I don't want it to be the guy from TCU. I'd rather it be the guy from Texas Tech.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but what if there's not a Texas Tech player on the roster?
Okay, well, I would rather it be from Ohio State because I don't have a passion to dislike Ohio State. Well,
Michigan State.
Kind of do a little bit, but
Michigan State or Schenectady.
Better than TCU. Yes. Okay. Yes, that it still matters to me, and it matters to me because the college, the university, is the most important thing to me, not the professional sports team. I'm still rooting for my team to do well. I'm not rooting against my team. I just am rooting for someone else to be the hero.
Okay.
Again, the most important thing to me is the university, not the professional sports team.
Okay. And you're pretty consistent. You're consistent on that. I will just tell you from my standpoint and having grown up in a professional city, I never really worried about where the player was from, what college he was from. I mean, there've been plenty of players for the Chiefs that have come from A&M or Texas or TCU, and none of that really bothered me, and still to this day. I mean,
okay. Now pick a school that you passionately dislike. Are you wanting the Chiefs to draft K-State players? Or Wichita State players?
Well, they don't. Wichita State doesn't have a football team anymore.
Okay,
but K-State. Okay, that's a good example.
Of course, you don't care about the Aggies or the Longhorns. You didn't grow up with hate for them.
I didn't. You're
like
right.
Tech fans.
Yeah.
Do.
So I mean, if a K-State player went to the Chiefs and did well, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Okay, but would you prefer they draft him, or would you prefer that? If they needed a wide receiver, would you want that guy, or would you prefer they draft a different wide receiver?
No, that doesn't bother me. I want them to pick the best player. If the K-State player is the best player and can help them win, then I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I mean, I truly am. So that doesn't bother me. Now, This will maybe come as a bit of a. I still have a bit of a problem.
Nothing comes as a bit of a surprise when it comes from you, Chuck.
Okay,
we've all expect the unexpected, especially in the Power Hour.
I'm not the biggest Mitch Holthus fan. In fact, I still kind of view him as a K-State broadcaster, and that kind of bothers me. I mean, he's a little over the top for me.
That's what it takes. That's the line that's over the top for you.
He's a little over the top for me. I mean, he's not my favorite. He's not my favorite chief broadcaster, over the years. And I can pretty much name them all over the years, and I'm not going to bore you with that.
Thank you.
I would just tell you that's the one that bothers me more than, like, K-State could have their best player in the history of the world go play for the Chiefs, and if he's successful, great. I'm thrilled as a lark. But for some reason, having Mitch Holtis as the play-by-play announcer, I still kind of view him as the K-State guy, and that bothers me.
I didn't have a problem with Dez Bryant going to the Cowboys. He was a very good Oklahoma State wide receiver. He was a very good receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. There have been others that have gone there that have done very well that I was okay with from Texas and A&M and for the Cowboys. Although the very first thing I will say when they play badly is, well, that's what you get when you bring in an Aggie. Nothing against our resident Aggie.
I will tell you this, Jamie. You have rubbed off on me in a couple of different ways, though.
Oh,
and this is positive, and I'm not going to besmirch this person's name because I don't want to affect his ability to get a job in this town, or maybe even with you someday, he may or may not. But I had two different business people here in town connect me with this young man just for me to talk to him because he wants to get into our business, into our industry, both on the sales side and the sports side. And they thought I'd be one that I could, he could talk to. So, which I was more than happy to do. Unfortunately for this young man, Jamie, he started off his email to me with the word howdy. And he is an Aggie. And just thinking about you and kind of how your response to something like that, I said to him in the email back to him, we don't say howdy here.
It feels a little rich.
I know. What feels a little rich? Well, I mean, again,
You were the guy during a game day live last year that said, and here comes Coach McGuire, and he's talking to the fans. He's probably telling those fans howdy. Which I had to explain to you that
I forgot about that.
If Joey McGuire says howdy,
yeah,
we might
forgot about that.
We might just ask Joey McGuire to
leave.
No, he would just have to go take the orientation.
But see,
there would definitely be some penicillin needed to be taken.
I also, though, subscribe to your theory of you're allowed to get better. And
I think that's your theory.
No, you've said that to me.
But I agree with it.
You've said you're allowed to get better.
Yeah. So
the question is if we're capable of getting better.
Well, I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's going to work for a radio station that is all about Texas Tech, he probably needs to learn to say, don't say howdy.
Don't say howdy. I was just trying to help him out.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet973.com.